All right, Rob. I want to ask you a little bit about, kind of the roles. You mentioned you have a role in CMMC. You're supporting Tony as well as being an assessor. So talk a little bit about your role, and then also just, what do the roles mean? How, what does it do for CMMC?
Sure. So I am one of 7 registered practitioners within Redspin. You'll hear us referred to as RPs. We provide advice, consulting, and recommendation to our clients. Although we don't do the certified assessments, that's Tony and our certified assessors. But the main thing the clients need to know about the RPs is that we're focused on CMMC. We have a basic understanding of its requirements because we've gone through their basic training, if you will, and that we follow and practice the CMMC AB Code of Professional Conduct.
And so what does it mean from an assessment standpoint? Like what does a certification mean? Are there different levels? Talk a little bit about, why you have to go through, some formalized training, and what does that bring to the client? Like what does the certification bring to the client?
Sure. So the different levels, as Tony mentioned earlier, he's one of, I think it's 70 or 100 that were selected to be the certified assessors. So once they go through training, it starts with the basic training level that I completed, and then it goes all the way through encompassing NIST, the FAR, and other kind of requirements that they need to know and understand in order to provide these assessments. So they are the certified assessors. The registered practitioners, on the other hand, because they realized the scope was so big for the certified assessors, they needed some assistance, but they didn't want to open the full certified assessor program. So what they did was handpick a few of us to come out, go through the basic training, and just kind of stop there to assist the certified assessors in this beginning phase of the CMMC, because it's still a pilot program, if you will. And once everything, we start doing some assessments, and Tony and the other CAs start turning in documents and what they found while they were doing the assessments. It will help tweak the process to improve it. And then from there, the registered practitioners will be available to move into the other training programs to join Tony and the other certified assessors.
Great. And Tony, so from a company standpoint, does everyone have to get the same level of certification, or are there different levels inside the CMMC model?
That's a very good question. There are different levels. If you really break out that CMMC, it's a certified maturity model. And the term maturity is based on your level of really the stringency of your cybersecurity posture. So the way the CMMC model works is based on kind of the traditional CMMI capability maturity model. I think it's called Institute model there. So pretty much right now there are only 3 levels. There's 5 levels defined, but for this first year in 2021, there's going to be 2 certifications, a level 1 certification, and a level 3 certification. The level 1 certification is based on the 15 basic cybersecurity hygiene requirements. They're pretty much some of your basic technical controls. Level 1 is there to protect what's called federal contract information. So if you're involved with DoD contracts and that type of information, you're going to need to get the level 1 certification. The very important one, the one that's more time intensive, is the level 3, which is defined as managed. Which you have to prove that you're managing in a proactive way your cybersecurity, and that consists of all the NIST SP 800-171 controls, in addition to some CMMC specific controls that you have to meet to become level 3 certified. The important point there, the difference between level 1 and level 3 is level 3, those are for the contractors who are processing, storing, and transmitting or exchanging controlled unclassified information, also known as CUI. Another acronym for you to remember. So if you're a contractor who is processing, storing, transmitting, exchanging CUI, then you will need to get that level 3 CMMC certification. Now, an example of a level 1 with FCI, many times those are your outliers. Those are the folks, the contractors who are supplying food to the troops, for example. They're not necessarily, processing or storing or transmitting CUI. They are under contract to supply the troops in the field, for example, the example I'm using here. And we need to keep that information protected, because that could let the adversary know whether we have certain, uptick in security operations. Military operations. So that's the 2 major levels that will be DoD contractors. There's about an estimate of 1,500 subcontractors that need to be certified in 2021, and it's going to be level 1 or level 3.
That's great.
Hey, Dave, if I could jump in real quick also, with the level 1 assessment, that's really defined as a performing level, which means you're doing the practices. And the practices that are encompassed with level 1 are the typical practices that most organizations are following right now. And they expect 300 to 350,000 organizations out there will require this level 1 certification. It's once that you get to the level 3, which they define as a managed level, that's going to encompass the 17 practices from level 1, along with the 55 from level 2, and then another 58. So you can see where it's 130 practices total to be level 3 certified. So you can see how it builds in order to protect the information you're storing.
That's a very good point. I'm sorry, that's a very good point. I wanted to elaborate on level 2, which we seem to have forgotten about, right? And as you appropriately pointed out, that this is accumulative. So to become level 3 compliant, you do have to meet level 1 and level 2 compliance. Level 2 is based on, do you document? Do you have documentation? Have you documented your policies and procedures? So as Robert, you mentioned, level 1, you're just performing. Doesn't mean that you have your procedures or anything really documented, but you're proving that you're actually performing those controls.